We have 2 recipe suggestions for the Ninja Creami. So I'm going to show you the first one and then Kevin can show you the second one. So mine is using Fairlife chocolate milk. This is 2% reduced fat. So this does have fewer calories. If you look at other chocolate milks prepared, this has fewer calories. It is 140 calories for 1 cup. So we're going to be using the Creami containers hold 2 cups, or a pint. So we're going to be using 2 cups. Now, some recipes call for less pudding and cocoa, but we're not going to use the cocoa at all. We're going to use 2 cups of the Fairlife with half a packet of, this is sugar-free instant chocolate pudding. This is the great value. It's 1.5 ounces or 42 grams. And I'm just gonna guesstimate half. And if you get a little more or a little less, it won't hurt anything. No big deal. So, yeah, I'm just gonna guesstimate about half of that. Pour it in like that. Put a little bit more. Like I said, it shouldn't hurt anything at all. And I'm going to stir it together. And then I'm going to pour it into my Creami container and put the lid on it. And then we have to put it in the freezer for overnight.
24 hours if possible.
So now we're going to move on to Kevin's recipe.
This is supposed to be a low-calorie peanut butter frozen dessert. So this one you need a lot more for though. You need 1.5 cups of almond milk. This one's the Almond Breeze unsweetened vanilla. That's what they recommended. We were going to get cashew, but they didn't have any where we looked, yeah. So we just ended up just with the almond. You need, I'm going to measure it out when I do it, but you need 2 tablespoons of the sugar-free vanilla syrup. You need 2 tablespoons of like maple syrup or pancake syrup. You need a fourth of a cup of sugar-free vanilla yogurt. We just got the Great Value brand and I got it measured out. And you need a 1/4 of a cup of some kind of peanut butter powder. This one is the PB Fit peanut butter powder. So that's what we're gonna use. And you need a pinch of sea salt. I've got the Malden Flakes. So I'm gonna put this all in a bowl. We're ready to, it's been in the freezer for a little over 24 hours actually. Turn it on, take your lid off, lay it in here. This is what it looks like out of the freezer. We're gonna put our lid on, I've already got the blade on. Lock it, lay it on there, spin it. And then since this is light, I'm gonna hit light and it's gonna make bad noises. Just ended. Push the button over here. And let's see if it needs to be respun. If it's like grainy, yeah, see how it's kind of grainy? I think I am gonna go ahead and respin it because if it's kind of flaky like that, you're supposed to respin it. So I'm gonna respin it. Yeah, looks about the same, honestly. So I'm gonna pull it out of here and I'll scoop it into a bowl.
Okay, I'm excited to try this.
Good. We do have like half a container left, so.
Yeah, we have this whole bowl plus a half a container.
Which is
it's a lot.
The same thing,
yeah, it's a lot.
It's much softer than I was expecting it to be.
It
like melty.
I can tell you exactly what I can tell you what it tastes close to, but it's not as rich. This tastes very, very similar to when I just use the peanut powder and the maple syrup together. That's what it tastes like, except when...
It does kind of have that.
Except when I do it it is a much stronger flavor because that's all you're getting in there. It's not diluted at all with 1.5 cups of almond milk.
Right.
And I don't know that vanilla, 2 tablespoons of vanilla syrup, I don't get that at all. I don't know that made any difference.
It may have, but who knows?
It might have. It doesn't seem to because
You don't taste it.
I'm so used to eating the peanut powder with the maple that I can tell you that's what it tastes like. Yeah. I mean, no doubt that's what it tastes like.
It's good. It's not something I would want all the time, but
it
it's good.
is for everything there, all of this. It's about 230 calories for all of it. So it is a low calorie dessert. So if you were to want to eat, I mean, just think, you could eat all of this whole thing for about 230 calories. I mean, I do think that's awesome. I really do.
One thing I've noticed is since it's a lighter version, it's not as thick and creamy as like regular ice cream. It's more watery feeling. Like it melts like water on your tongue instead of a thicker milk.
Yes, it's a much lighter flavor. It's light. It's
light in texture and in flavor.
Yes, overall, it's like watered down.
Yeah.
So it's like if I took that peanut powder and the maple syrup and I put water, I watered it down. Well, basically that's what we've done. We've watered it down, except we've used the almond milk. And so you also need to know that we did not do both recipes at one time to try here because once you make these, they immediately start melting.
Yeah, they're very, very soft.
They start melting very, very quickly. So now we can move on. Now that we've reviewed this one, we can move on to another one.
Yeah, but
would you make this again?
It needs more flavor. For me, I'm not worried about the light part, although that's nice that it was light, but I think I would rather make just a regular peanut butter version, not peanut powder.
You would use like real peanut butter.
Yeah, well, not even the same recipe. I mean, it wouldn't be anything.
You're never going to get low. Most people, I think, that have these are going for either protein,
low calorie, high protein. That's what everything I've seen is.
So most people aren't using this to make
ice cream.
Like real ice cream. Yeah. And I know for me, if you're going to be making real ice cream, if you're going to the trouble, why not just buy it?
Just buy it.
Yeah, why have to make it and then wait for 24 hours?
I think this product definitely has an audience that it's going to really fit. I don't know that I'm that audience, but I do think it fits that if you're making stuff that's really, really high protein. Most of the recipes you see have protein powders and things like that in them, which I would never put in something. So, yeah. Okay, so here's the chocolate version, or the chocolate with the chocolate pudding. Looks like a cake in there. So, same thing, put it in the container, and we're going to do it on light. Button. Rotate it. Definitely need to respin that. Look how grainy it is. It gets ice cream all in the top too, or stuff. So just keep that in mind. Definitely looks different.
The one that has just the Fairlife and the pudding mix, and it is about 340 calories. So the last one was 230 calories. This is a little over 100 calories more for this one.
Not bad though. Still 340 calories is better than 1,000 calories.
Yes.
like Ben and Jerry's, you know. It looks very dark. That reminds me of the old school pudding pops.
Oh. Doesn't me.
Really? The texture doesn't?
No. I love Jell-O pudding pops.
That texture is just like a Jell-O pudding pop.
Oh, you think?
Thick, kind of solidified. Yeah. You know,
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
No.
Is it the texture or the flavor?
It's the well, it's both.
Yeah. The flavor's not bad for me.
It seems like for me, it's like if you took a pudding cup and you stuck it in the freezer.
Yeah, I agree.
And it seems like that's what it would turn out like. It also reminds me of the texture a little bit of like when mom has made it and it's been in the refrigerator for several days.
Yeah.
And it's developed this rubbery skin on the top, which I hated. I always hated that. And that the whole texture through and through, it's not just the skin on the top. It's like, it's through and through. The flavor is okay.
Yeah, the flavor's okay.
But for me, the flavor is no different than a dark chocolate pudding cup. So why would you go to all the trouble? I guess because you can eat a lot.
You can eat a lot.
You get a lot of it. But for me, I would rather eat even two. I would rather have 2 pudding cups and not have to wait 24 hours to eat it.
Yeah, that's true. Or any low-calorie chocolate ice cream would be fine.
Yeah, low-calorie chocolate ice cream. But if a lot of people are making this specific recipe with the Fairlife and the pudding, and it's I would just rather eat 2 pudding cups. Yeah. That's just me.
I think I'd have to play around because I agree with you. It's too thick. It does remind me of the old school Jell-O pudding, but it's much. It's like twice
It's not as sweet though.
I agree.
Jell-O pudding pops were sweet.
I wasn't talking about the flavor. I'm just talking about the texture.
Oh, okay. Because I love Jell-O.
No, the Jell-O pudding pops were frozen Jell-O, but they were thicker than a traditional like chocolate popsicle. This is even thicker than that. So this is like way too thick. I think you would have to play around with how much pudding you use. Like maybe use like half the amount of pudding we did and then play around with it, but you'd have to keep making it over and over and over again until you got it right.
And for me, that's what I'm saying.
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it to me. I would just as soon buy the pudding, just buy pudding if I was in the mood for that flavor, because that's what it tastes like. It tastes like you're eating pudding.
Yeah,
that's
it does. Chocolate pudding.
So if you're going to get that...
Fairlife really didn't add any chocolate flavor.
No. So if you're going to get that same flavor by having a pudding cup, why wouldn't you just buy a pudding cup? You don't... What I'm saying is you don't need this machine to get that flavor. Just go buy a stack pack pudding. Yeah. Is what I'm saying.
I agree. I do like this recipe though. It's just a little thick for me. It's a little dense, but it is cold. It's creamy. It has good things about it.
I think a lot of people feel like they're missing out by not having one of these machines.
No.
I personally do not think you're missing out if you do not have one of these machines, because I can tell you, if you mix peanut butter powder and maple syrup, no, you're not going to get a huge container, but you can get the same flavor in a smaller amount. And you don't have to have this machine. And then if you want this, just buy the pudding, and you don't have to have this machine. So you can get the same flavors. You're just not going to get the same quantity. Yeah, because honestly, this does make a lot.
When we first opened the machine up, we made the vanilla and the pineapple. We'd never make that pineapple again. And I'll comment on that. And the vanilla really wasn't that great. It was okay. The vanilla was just okay, but I would much rather go buy vanilla ice cream that's 100 times better than the vanilla was. Go ahead and talk about your
No, I know what you're going to comment on. Somebody left a rude comment.
Yeah, of course it's not sweet. Because you didn't add any sweetness. You didn't add anything to it.
When we did that video, Kevin went by the recipe in their book.
Yeah, I was trying out 2 recipes from their book. That was the whole point. I tried out 2 of their recipes.
Yes, was to not add sweetener packets or whatever to it. We actually bought everything they said in their book, the Creami book, and we did their recipe. So then somebody left a rude comment that it really annoyed them, the video, because of course it wasn't sweet. Yes, but the whole point was to use their recipe, so that person missed the point. So anyway,
it was just funny.
That annoyed Kevin to no end too. Kevin's like,
of course, yes, of course, it's not gonna be sweet because we know.
Yeah, so that person's probably watching this video too, and you know, there's people that are on certain bandwagons, and just like, you know, you might love a certain store and you think that store is wonderful, and then if anybody says anything about a food from that particular store, then they get offended. I think that person got offended over this because it's like anything that you would say bad about this machine, they didn't appreciate. So I think that's what it is certain people are just more passionate about other things. In the end, I don't care what anybody says.
Well, my ultimate decision about this machine is it has its audience, it has its place. If you fit that niche market, then go for it. Spend the money, go buy one. If you don't stress about it. Go buy ice cream. Just
go buy a Halo Top.
If you're just looking to make your own frozen desserts at home, this is overkill.
I think it is too. I do not think this machine is necessary to do that. No. When you can just go to the store and just buy you a tub. I mean, most people aren't eating one every single night. I'm sure some people do, but you know, if you could afford to do that a couple times a week, most people could. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll have a couple pictures for you at the end, but it's just going to be, there's not a lot to show with these. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.